How's it going, everyone, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about an interesting topic that is something personal to me, but also something that I think a lot of people will either be doing or have done. So hopefully it's going to be an interesting one. So today's topic I wanted to talk about is how to trade while in school, in university, in college, whatever you want to call it. This is something that I've been doing. I started trading when I was in college or sixth form, whatever you want to call it, at about, I think, either 17 or just after I turned 18, one of the two. But yeah, I was trading in school through there. I've traded my whole time through university, which I'm about to finish. And it does initially take some time to get used to. And especially when you're learning, you have in your head that you have to be looking at the charts all day, every day. You've got like 8 different pairs you're paying attention on. And it can be quite tricky to actually take trades, not miss trades, and just overall be profitable. So I wanted to start talking first of all for people in school or college, because they're kind of the same things. I had a very strict time. I'd start school at 8:30, and you'd be at school until 3. So how do you trade in that situation? Obviously it's going to vary between different schools when schools start and finish, but for me, what I would do is I would trade when I first wake up. So I'd wake up maybe 6 a.m. and I'd look at the charts just before London session. And then once I've looked at the charts before London session, I'd have an idea in my head of where I wanted to buy or sell from potentially. So I would set an alert or a limit depending on how confident I was in the trade. And then I would just wait for it to either hit, or I'd let the alert go off, and then I'd quickly go onto the desk and enter the position. Now that's by far, I think, the easiest way to do it, trading before school. The thing is, for me, where I am, New York was always in the afternoon, and that was, sort of around the end of the day whilst you're in lessons, and then you finish, as I said, at about 3. But then, most of New York is gone where the entries could have been. So for me, definitely trading in the morning was by far the most effective method to trade. So as I said, that doesn't have to be the way that everyone could do it, but as I said, I personally would just trade before school, set a limit, set an alert, and just take the position when that goes off. Now hopefully that helps some of you that are maybe younger, that are in school or in college, but I do also want to talk about trading at university, because I feel like trading at university is a lot easier than trading at school. Because when you're in university, it's very flexible. You do have lectures, but they're not gonna penalize you if you don't go to them. And it makes it a lot easier because it's around your time schedule rather than a strict one at school. Obviously, I could sit here and say I never missed a lecture to trade, or I never, skipped a certain thing to trade or look at the charts, because I'd be lying. And sometimes, you do have to sacrifice. It's not that big of a sacrifice. You just catch up at it at a later point. But yeah, you can, miss lessons, miss lectures to trade if they intervene with your session. Now, as you probably know, I trade London session only. That is the session I only trade. And I was quite lucky a lot of the times. A lot of my lectures were in the afternoon, or at least after 10 a.m. So between 8 and 10, again, same sort of thing as what I was doing at school, is I'd look at the charts. Most of the time I'd find my setup and just enter it. But if I had a feeling it was going to go to a certain area, I would also just set limits. Same sort of thing. Now, on top of that, in school, normally they don't allow you to use your phones, and you don't really have laptops. So even entering a trade is quite difficult. But at university, everyone has laptops out. In lectures, everyone has, phones. It's not, as I said, anywhere near as strict as school. So if you are just, bored in a lecture, you can pull up the charts and you check your position. You could enter a position depending on what sessions you trade. So for example, if you trade New York session, you could just, do a little markup at the start of a lecture or during a lecture, because it shouldn't take you a long time to see a position. Realistically, you'll see a position the minute you open the charts, and that's what I have. I can open the charts and I'll know for the day, okay, there'll either be a setup or there won't. I don't have to spend ages, looking around for certain setups. So that's my first bit of advice. So for school, as I said, trade in the morning before school or after, depending where you are in the world. And at university, it is a lot more free. You can trade in the mornings, you can skip certain lectures if they're on days where your session is, or you can just trade in the lecture, whatever works best for you. Now, the other reason why I think this is a good thing is because you are obviously a bit more preoccupied with school. You don't have time to just scour loads of charts and loads of pairs and loads of sessions. So it does force you to be really concise, you know, pick a pair, pick a session, and just trade that. So for me, as you know, most of you probably know by now, is GU in London session. And that is all I've stuck with, you know, and then that means once the trade is either played out, or if I've seen there is no trade, I just shut the charts and I go about the rest of my day doing whatever it is you do at university. That's for like actually trading. But on top of that, we do also have, you know, things like backtesting, journaling. So say you've taken a trade at school or at university, just when you get home, just journal the trade, write about it, about how you felt, talk about what went well, what, you know, could be improved. And then when I would backtest would normally be the weekends. That was kind of the best time for me because, you know, you didn't have university and you could just backtest, you know, throughout the weekend. You know, you don't want to be doing too much, but like an hour or two on Saturday and Sunday is more than enough. Now, obviously with school and with university, there are exam periods, there's coursework. So sometimes you do have to take a step back from Forex. So, you know, towards the exam season, I'm not really looking at Forex as much. And for me, it's okay because I do have different sources of income. If I was solely reliant on trading, that would be more difficult. So that's why I do always say as well, make sure you spread out where you get your money from so that if one dies or can't be done, there's other ones coming in to, you know, keep you afloat at the end of the day, which is the most important thing. With exam season, you can step back, you can take a little break, and that's what I did personally. And it's good because it gives you almost like a refresher from the charts, and then when you come back, you feel, you know, like a new man. And it, you know, it's good to have breaks from trading occasionally, especially if you've had like a bad streak or something like that. So yeah, no, I don't see anything wrong with, you know, just taking a step back during exams, because at the end of the day, you just want to pass those so you can move on to the next stage or graduate, as I said, depending where you are in the school system. So hopefully that helped some people, you know, if you're in school trading or if you're at university trading or if you're going into one or the other, hopefully that helped, you know, have some advice, and hopefully that gave you an insight as to how I've been doing it, and it's worked really well. You know, it's been very effective for me. If you have obviously any questions about something that I maybe haven't covered about this topic, just put them in the comments and I will just reply to them there for you so that you can get the advice you need. But yeah, I hope you did enjoy today's video. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe. As I said, the support has been really, really good recently, so I appreciate that massively. And if you'd like to know where I trade, remember there is a link to my Telegram where I post what trades I'm looking at, as well as breakdowns for any trades that I do take. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.